Hi, Pisces. Cancer season, the July reading for Pisces. This is an important time of year for you all, and the way things are kind of playing out for this energy cycle is pretty profound for Pisces. I realized as I was sitting here feeling through the big note that came through was clearing the fog and getting your sight back. I think there's been a bit of self-doubt, there's been a bit of pain, there's been a bit of not being able to use your natural sight maybe the way that you normally would. Ooh, Wheel of Fortune popped right out. I love it. First card of the day, not being able to use your sight the way that you wanted. Wow. But getting it back. Getting it back. Wow. Okay. Lots of major arcana, my friends. I'm going to keep shuffling and we're going to talk about what this is. So your ruling planet, Neptune, at home with you guys, is retrograde right now, and it's going to be retrograde till November. And with that comes some of this grounding, right? That expansive, dreamy energy is giving us a second to see a little bit more clearly. So I think it will actually work in your favor. Not only that, but we have, Jupiter's been retrograde all the way through this spring. And that planet is going direct on July 10th in Scorpio. So in your ninth house of vision, right? So to have the planet of expansion going forward for you, which, in Sagittarius, is very powerful for you. It will help you see the bigger picture, help you put those puzzle pieces into place. And that same day, Venus is going into Virgo. So the same day Jupiter is going direct, Venus is going into Virgo, which gives you this infusion of beautiful energy in your opposite relational house energy. And then July 13th, right away, we have this Cancer new moon, which is a partial solar eclipse. Pretty much no one's going to see this one. But this is in your fifth house of your heart. So you can see kind of a theme going on here, right? You have Venus infusing your relational house, your seventh opposite sign house in Virgo. You have a new moon in your fifth heart center house. You have Jupiter going direct in your big vision ninth house. You can see how the first half of this month is lining up all of these huge things for you as far as putting the pieces back into place and understanding why things went the way they did, and also understanding where you're taking yourself next. Pretty epic. And that's just the first half of the month. Of course, once we get to Leo season, we're getting into your sixth house of your body and how you take care of yourself. And I think there's going to be a lot of healing there. And in that time, Mercury is going to go retrograde on July 26th in Leo, in your sixth house, slowing down a little bit, just checking in, right? It's not the heaviest energy. However, there is a big full moon in your 12th house. The Aquarius full moon on July 27th is going to be very powerful for Pisces because, like I said, with this whole idea of being able to see clearly, being able to see past the fog that maybe has felt like it's been around you, getting back to your ability to see, I think having this full moon, which is a total lunar eclipse, and you will be able to see it in the southern hemisphere, this is your spiritual house. This is your hidden house. This is clearing away any old dead weight. And of course, the eclipse cycles have been hitting at your Aquarius 12th house energy for over a year at this point. So you've been checking in with this deeper, heavier stuff over and over again. But you are now getting to this place where it's about the forward motion again. Even though we do have retrograde, even though we do have these eclipses that they're going to throw everybody off their center axis just a little bit, because there's Ten of Wands, last card out. I didn't show you all the cards because I was talking too much about the astrology, but they do throw you for a loop. They do slow you down. They force you to kind of cleanse away something. But for you, these are profound energies because the eclipses are hitting at your 5th house with the Cancer one, and then your 12th house. And these are powerful dynamics. So, but for Pisces, the way I'm kind of seeing it is the return of your magic and the return of your sight. And there being a clarity to everything that maybe you have kind of been hoping for the first half of this year. So let's look at the cards. I was doing, 4 cards for the first half of the year leading into the Cancer new moon, and then 4 cards leading into the last half of the month, but you got a 5th card here for the first half of the month, which I showed you at the beginning. So let's look at the 5 cards that we have leading up and through that Cancer new moon. Wheel of Fortune, Justice, Temperance, Chariot, and finally the 3 of Pentacles. So the 4 major arcana, followed up by a card of flow and cooperation and shared vision. What was I saying about vision and the fog clearing? There is a really good sense of there being flow again. And that's so interesting to me because we do have retrograde actions going on, including your ruling planet, because we have these eclipses, the return of flow doesn't seem like the most obvious outcome of those transits. However, sometimes what eclipses can do, and I think in your case this is the truth, what eclipses can do is they can clear the path. They can soften energy. They can help just exhale energies that have been holding you for a while, right? And I'm seeing that with the major arcana. It's that feeling that you can see. I think a lot of you, it's been these disparate puzzle pieces. You kind of know, okay, yes, this is all needed to happen. Yeah, sure. Okay, I know that. I've known the last year was supposed to be this really intense experience of me figuring out where I needed to put my foot next. I realized that the losses that I had and the confusions I had and the constant having to juggle between what's right for me and what's wrong for me. Okay, yes, in theory, I understand that. But this month, what I'm seeing is you understanding it it all comes together. It all just makes sense and you're at peace with it. And what comes from that is this directional energy. We have Wheel of Fortune here, right out of the gate. I'm just going to show like all 4 of these. Wow. Wheel of Fortune, the shifting of a gear, the clicking into place of a puzzle piece that hasn't been making sense, an opening of a door that is about bounty and progress and new beginnings. I see a lot of balance. These 3 cards are each representative of a deep spiritual sense of balance, and they each represent it in different ways. So you have forward-focused conversations. You have conversations with people where you get answers that you need, where you get results that you need, where you get that verdict that you've been needing to have for your own peace of mind, right? This is very conversational energy with the goal of finding peace and balance. So for those of you who want a peaceful, balanced relationship, this energy is very powerful. And actually, Pisces, I see a lot of you communing with others. You do have Venus and Virgo for a lot of this month, which is a fantastic thing. It's going to really light you up when it comes to your connections and those one-on-one relationships. I see a lot of you getting deeply involved in a new relationship because all 3 of these are commitment cards and balance cards and relating cards. And they're all about finding your own center point. And that is what allows another person to come in. That's what allows these conversations to come in. This can also be about career and finding a really nice balancing point within yourself when it comes to the work you're doing in the world. However you want to look at this energy, though, what I see here is that for a long time there's been a feeling that there's been a lack of balance, there's been a lack of clarity, there's been a lack of conversation. It has felt wonky. Even if you've been progressing forward, it's felt a little bit unwieldy. And what I'm seeing here is that it's starting to feel like you are actually master of the progression. Now, of course, you could be dealing with a Libra or Sagittarius or a Cancer, but quite honestly, when this many energies are here together, what they represent is a much larger, holistic approach to where you're headed next. And what I'm seeing is that your connections to others, those people around you who understand you and get you, is taking you forward. Shared vision is strong here. And that's what I was saying about the lifting of the fog. That fog is no longer going to be haunting you and following you around. There's a sense here that the people that are now around you, you either come to peace with whoever was, causing you distress in the last year, or you meet new people who help you move your vision forward, help you to build this next life that I have in my head. It's like you guys have been waiting and hoping for this next life to kind of start to make sense. You've been wanting it. You've been ready for it. It's felt like it has been eluding you, that you couldn't fully build this life, that you couldn't fully indulge in it because there were things haunting you. There was a lack of seeing it. It felt like, okay, I'm just going to give up. I'm just going to do my best. And here what I'm seeing is that directional focus. So it's not so much about a single person, though. I think some of you really are going to have some commitment conversations coming up. You're going to have some really deep conversations with your closest connections. And that is going to prove to be a very helpful process. Be patient with yourself, though. Like I said, eclipses like we have this month and the way they're hitting your houses are going to be powerful, and they're going to be direct. And actually what I'm seeing the second half of the month, and with that Aquarian full moon, with the total lunar eclipse that's happening on the 27th, along with the Mercury retrograde in your 6th house, those things are actually, so it's interesting. The first half of the month, you're getting the clarity, the fog is clearing. And what often happens when we start to make that forward progress again is we do have to check in with any old wounds or fears. And I think that full moon is going to ding at some of the things that are going on there. But like I said, that's clearing energy. So it's always good. You can check in with the wounded child. You can check in with the sore points in yourself and find peace. So let's look at these cards. I'll stop teasing you. We have the 5 of Pentacles, the 8 of Pentacles, the Hierophant, and the 10 of Wands. And as you can see, there's some battling it out here between balance and progress and feeling overwhelmed, exhausted, and poor energy and worth-wise, right? A lot of times when we start getting that directional focus forward, where we know we're going to the next thing with all this energy right here, it triggers our old wounds. It triggers our old fears that things will blow up in our face, that we will continue to lose, that we will continue to hit against the same barriers we've hit in the past. Our past patterning can really freak us out with trusting ourselves and trusting our value. And the 5 of Pentacles almost always shows up when we are actually in a phase of accepting a new bounty. And this is a crux point, because what you can do here is you sit with this energy and you can choose to still accept the bounty or shut down, right? And this is that crucial moment where you sit there and you say, yeah, I am going to trust this bounty. I'm going to trust it. And when you do that, and I see you guys doing that, I see you guys, yes, taking a moment to sit with that pain or that fear or that confusion or that wariness. A lot of times it's wariness of things going well, wariness of your sight coming back. Can you really trust it? Can you really believe in it anymore? I see you moving past that. This is much stronger energy than the 5 of Pentacles could ever be. This is progress when it comes to the work you do in the world, how you're contributing to the world, your vision, your sight, how you share ideas, how you teach, how you produce, how you create. This is another commitment card here. And here with the 8 of Pentacles, this is a lot about your life's mission. The things you want to teach, the things you want to express, where you want to put your energy and your emphasis. It's extremely powerful forward motion driven energy that is all about committing to your purpose. And it's also about committing to a partnership, to a shared vision, to a shared space, to a shared pattern. It's finding your feet on the ground. This is very grounded energy. And I think you guys have felt a little bit like you're floating in relativity, for a little while. You've been checking in with these different points. Your psychic abilities have been very strong, actually, this whole year. You've been able to tap into visions and dreams on such a deep level. But sometimes the outcome of having that is that it can leave you feeling amorphous and lost. Where do you put your foot next? Where do you trust? Can you trust your process or yourself? And I'm seeing you get this grounding back where you can see and you can start to commit to things, commit to projects, commit to jobs, commit to partnerships that seriously, some of you, I really feel like the Cancer energy for you is going to just light up something about you that is going to draw people to you. And then, of course, we have the Ten of Wands here at the end, which, whenever this card shows up as well, this is where you feel you have to hold everything, where you have to be the watchdog of the good stuff coming in, where if you relax your psychic vision, your intuitive sense at any point, maybe it'll get lost. Maybe you'll lose this opportunity to get into this relationship or into this job. Maybe you'll lose this opportunity to build this new life that you're seeing for yourself. Maybe if you don't hold it all on your shoulders all the time, it won't work out. And I have to say, that is just, the outcome of thinking with this old stuff, right? So when you feel tempted to do this, relax. Relax. It's there with you. This energy is there with you. I'm going to pull a final card today for my Cosmic Tarot. Because I'm telling you guys, oh man, there's a lot of shifting going on here for you. There's a lot of solid, concrete things coming in this month. It's going to be a lot to digest. And these are long-term things. So they're not going to fully transmit all this month because it would just be way too much. If you got all these things completely formulated, you're getting the beginning stages here, but you're going to be starting to get that abundance. So when you feel that kickback of fear, you're going to want to take a breath, because there's parts of you that have convinced yourself that you are just going to continue to live in the same foggy, weird place forever, and there was never going to be this beautiful new bounteous horizon. It just felt like it was never going to show up, right? And so for it to start showing up the way that it is, it's going to be a bit of this, I don't know, because I was prepared to just live in this fog. And so a big part of your goal this month is going to be to practice accepting it. Practice that feeling of releasing the tension in your solar plexus. Take big breaths where you breathe into your back as well as to your belly. And release them and feel that flow of energy. Allow the receptivity to come back. That's important for you right now. Okay, I'm waiting for this last card to come out, and it does not want to come out. Let's see what is eluding me here. Queen of Swords. Very interesting, actually, that she's popping out, because she is often somebody who has a lot of resistance to receptivity. She wants to speak her mind, tell her truth, cut through. Cut through anything that maybe is haunting her, causing her pain. But I think this is old stuff. Once again, it's like you guys have learned how to utilize this type of energy, this Queen of Swords energy, to make it through the world. You can be very cutting. You have a very witty, sharp tongue, a lot of you. You're very good at speaking your mind. And that's one of the tools you developed in order to deal with heartbreak and loss and fear and worry and worries about being abandoned or forgotten. The Queen of Swords is useful. She sets healthy boundaries and she expresses what she needs. She can also keep herself locked up. So there's the double-edged sword of her energy. And I think this is one of the ways you're going to be finding that balance between telling somebody what you need and where you have to draw your lines, and also letting somebody come in and share with you in your deeper internal processes. It's going to be an interesting experimental month on that front, allowing things to come in and meet you, learning how to trust, and also finding those healthy boundaries for when you need to step back and when you need to go take care of yourself during these eclipses and during these retrogrades and during this little dance that the planets are doing right now. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. I love you, Pisces. I'm very close to a few of you, and I've learned so much from you. I've learned so much from you about different modalities of doing life and existing, and I know it's been an interesting and very intricate journey for you. Okay, so I would love to work with you all. Check me out on Instagram at the SARAHTAROT. I'm over there a lot, and I love seeing everybody over there with me. My calendar's a little crazy. I'm going to be traveling and doing quite a bit in the coming couple of months. So I'm going to be doing some pre-recorded readings. Email me if you're interested in that. I would love to work with you. I will also still be booking Skype sessions, but my calendar's looking a little crazy. So once again, email me if you're interested. I'm doing my best to keep up with emails, but I run the entire show, so keep that in mind. I'm sitting here with PinkLune's gorgeous jewelry, 15% off for all my lovely subscribers out there. And then also sitting here with Jill Sand's gorgeous artwork. We have the Cancer painting here, and you can get prints of that, as well as look at this gorgeous piece. I mean, it's just, you could just stare at it for hours. So I'll leave her website below so you can get in touch with her, and I love you guys so much. I will see you in August for more adventures. I'm sure it's going to be an interesting ride.